Alright everyone, welcome to my channel, it's me Gamerturk, and let's get right into the point since we got a lot to cover today. As you know, we have been getting news about many games these couple of days thanks to Tokyo Game Show over there at Tokyo, and we got a ton more earlier today. News about Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet and its story along with an actual release date. And news about two brand new iOS Android Sword Art Online games, Sword Art Online Integral Factor and Sword Art Online Black Swordsman. You can watch the brand new trailers by clicking the cards icon on the upper right corner. In this video I will be talking about the news and my personal opinions afterwards if you're interested. I'll start with Fatal Bullet, but you can find timestamps for each game in the description if you are not interested in one of them and want to skip. Now, we got a brand new story trailer for Fatal Bullet featuring custom character and her circle of friends. First off, we start with original character and Kirito looking over SBC Glocken, the capital city of GGO setting. And keep in mind that Kirito has his regular looks in this footage rather than his actual GGO avatar, which is interesting since during the announcement trailer in the CG animated scene, he was using his GGO avatar. As we have been hinted many times before, Kirito is not the hero of this story, it is you, your custom character. Of course, Kirito and Shinon so far have to be playable, and we have seen them to be playable in gameplay sections, but we are not really sure if this is going to be like Hollow games where nobody aside from the designated playables being limited to AI party members, or if we can actually play as them. Aside from yourself, other new characters will be accompanying you throughout the game. Of course, you will encounter Kirito and Shinon, and they seem to be integral to the story, but again, the focus will be on you and your own circle of friends. You are the hero. Meanwhile, your old friend Kureha will be accompanying you as your main partner. You will cross paths with a mysterious player called Zeliska, who looks awfully familiar as a gender-bent AG from Ordinal Scale for some reason with her attitude and facial expression, but that's entirely a different point. The trailer specifically mentions that she will not be playable. And Arpha Sis, an AI, will accompany you in this game, which I believe will be similar to Yui, Strea, or even Premiere of the previous games. And I'm gonna go ahead and assume she won't be playable as well, since the trailer is giving the impression she is going to be someone we protect rather than fight along. And yes, your choices in this game world will affect the game world itself, so be careful with what you do in the game. Though the trailer heavily implies that Arpha Sis will be a part of these choices you will have to make. And yes, we also got a release date. According to Dengeki Banko, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet will release on February 8, 2018. If you want my opinions about the game so far, skip to the time mentioned in the description since I will be talking about the mobile games now. Sword Art Online Integral Factor will be a brand new game coming to iOS and Android by Bandai Namco. We do not really know much about how this game plays. From the visuals, I can assume it is very much like the console game Hollow Fragment, but from a story perspective, it seems to be a story rewrite. The synopsis provided by Gematsu and the visuals in the trailer provide more evidence to this as well. According to Gematsu's synopsis, we are back in 2022, the initial release of the death game Sword Art Online. Your character was one of the beta testers and is not Kirito. Let's make that clear. Meanwhile, the main heroine named Koharu is also a beta tester and you will meet her early in the game. The reason why I think this will be a complete rewrite, however, is the CG images we have been provided from the game, similar to the Gameverse presentation. There is a scene where we save Diabel from getting killed by the Kobold Lord. We see Yuki, who wasn't even there in Sword Art Online, watching Lisbeth forge a weapon. We see Sugu fighting with Kismel, both of which didn't exist in the original story, though progressive rewrite added Kismel to Aincrad as canon, so there's that. And we see our protagonist saving Sachi. Yuna seems to be in the game as well, but I am not gonna mention too much considering the official Blu-ray release for Ordinal Scale is not there yet and specifics about Yuna will contain spoilers. The next one is truly shocking though. We see Heathcliff being held prisoner in the prison of Town of Beginnings. The game is currently announced only for Japan, and for your information, I will not be covering the game unless it gets a Western release with English subs. Opinions about the game coming really soon. And then there is the Sword Art Online Black Swordsman, which just looks like the original Infinity Moment on mobile, created by a Chinese company, and also seems to be using Infinity Moment assets as well. That's all I'm gonna say about it. We barely have any information about it, and it doesn't seem to be the focus of things anyway. Opinion time! Let's start with Fatal Bullet. This year seems to be the year of custom characters, and I am, personally, not a fan of taking the focus off of the main cast and giving it to the OCs. Sword Art Online is Sword Art Online thanks to its characters, not because of its style. Take Kirito and others out of it and it will be a generic RPG. The reason I'm here is to have more stories with the characters I enjoy seeing, so as you can see, I'm not a fan of this OC-centered approach. Though I am optimistic seeing how involved they made Kirito and others look in the trailer. We see Kirito attempting to kill Alpha Sis while our OC is protecting her. We see Asuna holding main heroine Kureha at gunpoint with her gun pointed at her head. And I like the new designs for the characters, although they seem a little too colorful and out of place for Gun Gale Online. But that's totally okay. As for Integral Factor, I am really hyped about this game despite not knowing how it plays. A full Aincrad rewrite with every event happening but seemingly with a twisted outcome. It was also interesting to see that our protagonist appears in every scene that should have been reserved for Kirito, which honestly makes me wonder what they're gonna do with Kirito and of course Asuna. But I really want this game to be available in the Western market as well. As for overall thoughts, it is not that great when you look at the big picture. Bandai Namco is currently spouting way too many SAO games, one after the other, without considering a possible burnout. Axel World vs Sword Art Online literally cannibalized the sales of Hollow Realization and its DLCs. We still haven't gotten DLC 3 of Hollow Realization for the West. Meanwhile, they already started the hype train for Fatal Bullet. On the mobile side, Memory Defrag is still going full speed worldwide, while Code Register is still going full speed in Japan, so adding a third fully supported mobile game into the mix has a very high cannibalization potential in that market as well, so it will be interesting to see how this will pan out in the upcoming months. Until then, make sure to subscribe for more Sword Art Online coverage along with playthroughs. Support me on Patreon to get additional benefits on my channel as well. You can follow me on facebook.com/Gamerturk and on Twitter @Gamerturk95 to stay up to date with everything. Take care.